I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Pistoling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawn. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one Chief Rock Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. And welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning Time show. The Knicks Morning Drive. Salute, salute, salute. We coming through to talk that talk the way that y'all like to have that talk to y'all. Talk to y'all. Salute, salute, salute. Good mornings. Good mornings to everybody out there starting their day. Whether you are in your cubicle or if you're in customer-facing sales, whatever you're doing, salute to y'all. Big up yourself. I hope your morning beverage is just that, serving its purpose. Cowboy Bob is in the place to be. Cowboy Bob, what's good, man?
Good morning, Good morning to everybody out there. Thank you for listening today. But, yeah, I'm doing good today. How you holding up?
I'm relieved, bro. I'm relieved, man. Andios is in the building. Ribby of the Kingdom RM is in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Fitzy is in the building. Salute to everybody watching us on YouTube and on X. Salute. Big up yourself.
I was just gonna say I got two quick jokes real quick. If you let me get
come on. Yeah, man.
All right, so yesterday on the show we had a guest appearance. He was by the name of Mr. Miyagi. He taught me something that I didn't know and I'm still learning. This is why I'm a little bit woozy. That physicality isn't a talent. Physicality is effort.
Yeah.
And still to this day, I know it's only been 24 hours, but those have been the longest, deepest 24 hours of me thinking of, wow, maybe he's on to something. Because after seeing last night, 7 men, and the 7 men that you got, 3 of them got in the double digits outside of Brunson. One guy was offensively shut down, but I'll get into that later. But this is funny. As we were watching the game, this is the second joke. As we were watching the game, I just started drifting off because all I kept hearing you say, "Oh, there goes Brunson, dribble, 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 dribble." And then I imagine like the Ali from Aladdin, the original Prince Ali. So it's like I had dribble, 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 and I had Brunson Burner, Brunson Burner. So I'm like laughing in my head, like so every time now I hear dribble, dribble, dribble. That's what I think. I'm just like Brunson Burner with the elephant stomping in the background and the horns.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. We did our thing last night, bro.
Yeah. So, Mr. Miyagi, I don't know where you are, but thank you for that advice, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know he was going bald neither. So,
man, Indiana played their entire roster last night, bro. Everybody that had a jersey played last night, bro.
Oh, here's another one. Here's a fun fact. Did they not score past 100? I think they scored 91, right?
Yeah, yeah.
and I said our defense can shut them down to 90. Keep them at 90.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, Mr. Miyagi, man, he when he come in and watasso you, just the knowledge passes on to everybody. So
Yeah, man.
everybody's intelligent in the room.
It was quite a sight last night.
Our
So
second 121 game, which is we scored three times. We scored above 120 points in this series. We are the
yeah,
highest scoring team, and I know a lot of people are like, "Well, Indiana Pacers defense isn't the best or subpar, but still,
right.
we still got to find offense somewhere."
Yeah, 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 yeah. Salute to Scotty in the building, just Knicks. Sherwin in the place to be. Salute to the son of the legend, Kerry Cox. Mets is in the building. Chop Low, what's good? I see you. Of course, we shouted out Fitzy already. Yeah, salute to King Embert and everybody else walking through the door. Man, salute to y'all. Yeah, man. Salute to all of y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I think there were a few things that we absolutely had to have last night, and we got those things in spades last night. Tarzan is in the building. Jay Boogie is in the building. Jay Boogie says, "Good morning, blessings, health, and happiness." What they say in the new kingdom of the planet of the apes. What a wonderful day. Yep. Yep. Salute. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Salute, man, to everybody. Good morning. You know, yeah, man. We absolutely had to be more physical last night and going forward, and we were absolutely more physical last night. I hope we can maintain it going forward. We definitely got what we were asking for last night.
Yeah.
We left the game with 5 blocks,
Mm-hmm.
one very impressive block by Dante
Okay.
DiVincenzo, a very impressive block by Precious Achua, though he had 2. One of them was really impressive. We got energy minutes from Precious. We got energy minutes from Alec Burks. Um, um, Miles McBride played 40 minutes and scored 17 points.
Our third best scorer.
We needed Miles McBride to show up, and he showed up. Yeah, man. I was super critical of Miles McBride up until last night. Well, I'm super critical of everybody in the playoffs, but not critical. Like, I don't hate him. I'm not trying to trade him to the Portland Trailblazers. What I'm saying is, in the playoffs with your mortality on the line, guys got to step up, man. And Miles McBride stepped up last night. Bronx Kicks for Life is in the building. Salute.
Yeah, and he stepped up in a way that now everybody's gonna say, "Oh, he played better defense on Halliburton." Wasn't
Yeah.
just that. If you look at what we did with Dante, we put Dante on TJ, and when we picked him up, we had full court press on Halliburton. See what you mentioned, I think in Game 3, Uncle Game 4, when Halliburton had, I think it was Game 3 when he had his first like 30+ point game, and they ended up winning. You said Halliburton was already in his groove, so he's already getting burnt and he's already in his motion. This time, we started with McBride early, and he got into his defensive mode and played even longer,
I
which
think
is
Dre
also
said that.
good.
I think IKBM Dre
No,
said that.
no, no. I said that's what Dre brought up that time. But what I'm saying is earlier in Game 3, you said he's getting burnt because
Yeah, but
Halliburton's
yeah, Dre
already in
said.
his.
Yeah, Dre pointed. Yeah, I want to give credit to Dre. Dre pointed that out.
Okay, but then I thought that was you in Game 3, but I
No,
apologize, Dre. I apologize. But then, yeah, when he pointed that out, that makes perfect sense because the whole entire time he's playing full court pressure on them. And I do remember like Dre saying that if you put pressure on that hip, he's not going to be that good. So we did that, which was actually worked into our favor. And TJ didn't do nothing. TJ had to deal with Dante being in his head. And Dante was playing pure defense, even though his offense was off. So we were able to shut down any kind of life that they were able to get with their fast point breaks.
right, right.
And Siakam, Josh, you let Josh Hart out rebound you. Siakam, you got
Yeah,
8 rebounds to Josh Hart's 9 offensive rebounds.
yeah, that was strange, right?
How you let Josh look? You know how I feel about Josh Hart.
Right.
You know, but even I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You what? But before, yeah, everybody was saying Siakam is this. He can box out Josh Hart. Even some of us were like, hey, we don't like him playing the four. But then again, like another point Dre brought up earlier, Hart has these moments where you like him, and then you just like, what are you doing? Like in the first quarter when he had that turnover, but
Oh,
then you liked how
indeed. Yeah.
he played at the end of the game.
Right.
So I'm impressed. And then to give us 18 points, him and Alec Burks, I'm
Right.
like, that's impressive, guys.
That's impressive.
That's how you step up, and that's the team involvement that we were talking about as well with Brunson.
Right. Right. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, no doubt, man. There were a lot of things that impressed last night. I really, really, really enjoyed Tom Thibodeau's adjustments.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Tom Thibodeau making adjustments in the series.
And he was quick with it too.
Yeah.
You saw it in his face like 30 seconds after you said, what? That? Let's go. He was not playing last night.
Right. Right. That man made some adjustments last night.
I, the best one I liked was how he used Hartenstein. He kept Hartenstein down in the paint and just had him rotating the whole time. And he just basically had this is why I say I loved how Josh Hart was able to focus at the four on Siakam. He was just able to stay in front of him and know that even though he had the backside help of Hartenstein, Hartenstein's main objective was to just stand in front of him and create a harder shot for him. So it worked out because thank the Lord, like I said, the way they used Hartenstein, because the whole night he was down in the paint, just rotating defensively, making sure no second chance opportunities that they got.
Right.
Because I think they got 29 total rebounds. We got 20 offensive rebounds. 33 of them were defensive rebounds.
Right.
We took 33 opportunities away from them last night. Hell,
Yeah.
we more of our defensive rebounds out rebound there in total rebounds.
Yeah.
So that was impressive, and that type of way they using him and the way the defense was set up. Most people didn't even catch it because you had the full court press on Halliburton
Halliburton. Yeah.
with McBride. Then you had TJ who couldn't get off of the switches because you had our boy Dante covering him hard, and then
Yep.
you had Josh Hart just locked in because all he had to do was stay with Siakam, and then you just had the rotator of Hartenstein down there back
Right.
and forth, just making sure nobody gets in the paint, and it worked.
Nobody move, nobody get hurt.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Nobody move,
Facts,
nobody get hurt.
facts.
Right.
And Hartenstein was like, "Yo, I'm about to go up in here. Like, what we doing?" When he passed it to Brunson, I told you, not all the time, but that's the play I'm talking about. Every now and then, when he get that ball, and you see Hartenstein just give it right back to him, and he go up and get that and one.
And
Even though
one.
we really didn't need it, that's what I'm talking about. Every now and then we can use those type of plays. Because he
Yeah.
looked ready too when he got the ball from Brunson. He just was like, didn't even look.
Wait, let me ask you, because it was a great win last night, but there were times we got nervous, bro.
Yeah.
It was because we had the big halftime lead. Remember the big halftime lead we had?
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you feel when Miles Turner came out at the start of the third quarter and knocked down all those threes back to back to back? How did that make you feel?
They hit 3 3-pointers and they got into, I think we had a 16-point lead and they went to like a 7-point lead in like 45 seconds. I was like, don't do this to me again. This is that Reggie Miller bull crap, but it's in
Yeah.
another form. Like, and then we took the timeout because once that happened, it was like beep. The adjustment came in. That's when I started realizing all right, I could calm down now. But when it was happening,
Yeah.
about that good 2-3 minutes. Yeah, it was about 9 minutes in. Yeah, about that first 3 minutes, I was on a roller coaster.
Right.
And then when we came back and then we shot the three, and then I was even like, what are we doing with that? But okay, we took it. Then Brunson came in the paint and scored, and then we started getting back. I was like, all right, we're
Right.
good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And when Miles Turner started hitting those threes, bro, I didn't panic because he hit 3 in a row. I know I kind of had a feeling he wasn't going to get hit like 5 in a row or 7 in a row or 10 in a row. I knew he wasn't going to hit that many in a row. But it did. I think it did. I think when Tibbs called that timeout, bro, and he put a foot in Hartenstein's throat. Yeah, man. He put a foot in Hartenstein's throat, and then Hartenstein just started picking him up as soon as he saw him. You know, because centers naturally they want to sag back and protect the rim, right? And even when we pointed it out on playback TV last night, yeah, you know, we were saying let your power forward be the rim protector if you have a jump shooting center or switch, right? Let Josh Hart pick up Miles Turner in the open floor. That way, Miles Turner can be guarded, right? And once he did that, you know, that whole run that they were trying to go on, that was over. That was over, boss. Yeah.
And then it's like they contested everything.
Yeah.
Like after that adjustment, it's like you started seeing them putting pressure on the ball to where we were playing the perimeter game, which was even impressive at that point in the third quarter because they were not getting a shot off after that. Like they had like 6 minutes, I think, of like 0 buckets or something. And I even said it during the game. I'm like, did they just go 6 minutes after that and not score?
Yeah.
And they just couldn't get the ball in the paint or nothing. And when they actually got to the paint, it was such a bad shot that if they kicked it out, somebody got a hand on it to knock it out of bounds, or somebody got a hand on it to it. It took a while for them to get back and get the ball back into motion. Like the defense was just slowing them down. And then when we came back on our end, we were dribbling out the clock. We actually were getting rebounds, kicking it back out. Even Dre was saying it when Josh Hart missed his shot. He's like, another 30 seconds off the clock. Thank you, Josh Hart. 2 failed attempts, but he took a whole minute and 45 seconds off.
Yeah.
Like,
that was the thing I had been saying, Cowboy, about in our conversations. I had been saying forever. I think it finally clicked with the Lawrence Tears crew, right? It finally clicked with the Lawrence Tears crew that valuing the basketball is everything.
Yes.
Right? You got to value the basketball over making shots at times. Because you're going to have easy shots out there on the floor. And of course, you want to take advantage of those. But you got to value the basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? And like one trip down the floor, like you and I think it might have been everybody contributing to the point that even if we missed a shot, we grabbed the offensive rebound and kicked it back out and reset.
Yep. That's what everybody was saying. And we were loving it.
Yeah, I think at the time we may have been up by like 18. We were up by 18. At that point, the difference between 18 points and 20 points was not as important as us running time off the clock. Right? At that point, time was more valuable than scoring was. And when you saw us get those offensive rebounds, you could see it just break the back of the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah. And it's funny, Ali was sitting down really early too. Like I think he had 6 points. Like he was non-existent. Like, and it's funny, like it shows you how even though Turner did his thing and they hit those two, like they contributed with those 3-pointers and it looked like a surgeon. It's like that's what I said. Look at Obi.
They cut the lead to 7. They cut the lead to 7.
Yeah, but then it's like even look at Toppin. Like when Toppin was doing his thing, and everybody was like, "Oh, Toppin is a guy that we should have never." This is what I'm talking about with Indiana. They'll have great plays, great moments, but the thing is if you get in a battle with them like they did with us last night, where we actually put our foot to the metal and play our game, they can't beat us. Right. Game 4, they beat us because we tried to play their game. Yeah. And they won because they outsmarted us in making us play their game as opposed to us playing our game. We beat them by playing our game. So,
Pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah. Yo, the Saint Alawise is in the building. Salute to Alawise. B-Baller for real is in here. Salute. Salute. Yeah, man. And and
12
and and
offensive rebounds by
and and,
Hartenstein.
yo, and Fitzy, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This is Fitzy, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm thinking if we had Mitch, Randall, and OG Ananobi, I'm telling you, I'm confident that
Sweet.
we would be the favorites to be the NBA champ. I'm
I
telling
think
y'all
we
now,
would.
man. I think we would be the favorites to be the NBA champs if we were completely healthy. And I have been saying it, and I know how. And listen, Cowboy Bob, I know how people are, right? Like, you know how I feel about fans, about fans that do shows and they put a certain type energy in the air, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily know basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And no shout out, no shade at anyone. Like, I'm not shading people who do, like, people that come on YouTube and do shows, right? But from my perspective, I do at times think it's slightly dangerous for people that don't know basketball to talk that basketball talk as opposed to talk that fan talk, right? And because they'll say, because people will say stuff like, and this is no shade on anybody, right? No shade on anybody, because we are who we are, right? We are who we are. What I'm saying is stuff like the things like, I'll just say this. All last summer, I said this team was going to win 60 games. Cowboy Bob, you was around. You was around when I said we were going to win 60 games. Anybody remember when I said this team was going to win 60 games? Chat. Anybody in the chat remember last summer me saying that I wasn't afraid of Milwaukee? Remember that? People was like, "Oh, but Milwaukee has Giannis." Yeah, I said last summer, I was telling everybody certain things, bro. You gotta know ball. You gotta know basketball. You just can't go by people's reputation, right? And now, and now, yo, we're not afraid of Milwaukee. I wasn't even afraid of Boston. I'm not afraid of Boston right now. I actually wanted Boston.
Yeah, you even when we got injured, you was like, I don't care, bring him. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
yeah. I was
relax.
telling
Like,
you,
you're not just
once we got OG and Ananobi to guard Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, I
yep.
figured we can beat them, knock them off with our physical style of play. Now that path will be difficult now, not because Boston is better than us on paper, but because Boston is healthier than us. So when we do get to Boston, it'll be a uphill battle, but it's still a battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last summer, I was saying the entire time, like, this team, Tom Thibodeau made adjustments last year. They didn't work. The adjustments Tibbs made last year, they didn't work, not because of the scheme wasn't working, but the personnel just wasn't a fit.
Mm-hmm.
The personnel wasn't a fit,
Yep.
right? Now you see the personnel are here, and we can beat anybody with Cowboy Bob. We are legit out here beating a lot of teams, right? We're beating a lot of quality teams, and our roster is hampered. You got to give the coach some credit.
Yep.
You got to give the coach credit for being a tactician.
And and can I also say something about that with that skill set? The fact that everybody now, even now that after last night with how we played basketball, we shot 34% from the 3-pointer, which means we shot 101 shots. 65 of our shots were in the mid range, 35 of them were from the 3-pointer. So we were able to develop our offensive game in the mid range and be productive. That right there is very scary because One, we don't have the talent nearly as good as Boston, but the fact that we can produce that well when we're shooting bad with our three, imagine if our three is actually on point where Dante's hitting, McBride's hitting, and Brunson is hitting. So even in a bad game, you can see right here off of the game like this that we can still put up 120 shooting bad from the 3-point range. So we can actually take on Boston. I just wanted to say that. So I'm impressed by these numbers. That's all I wanted to say. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the point that I was making was not just the stuff from last night. The point that I was making is the adjustments that Tom Thibodeau make and the schemes that he have in place will travel, right? And it's multi-purpose. Tom Thibodeau, our coach has schemes and adjustments that will fit all the personnel on the roster. Is what I'm getting at, right? What I'm getting at is even with Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson out, the scheme that we run can still fit guys off of our bench, even though they won't perform to the standard of an all-star and two borderline all-stars. So sure, Precious Achua won't be Julius Randle, right? But he can thrive at the 4 or the 5 in Tom Thibodeau's system, right? It's not like Tom Thibodeau is letting those guys just go out there and run around with cardio. We play with intent and purpose. Our Tom Thibodeau legit schemes for the offensive player to have to fight for every inch of ground gained on the court. Every inch of hardwood you gain against the Knicks, you have to fight for it, and that just wears you down emotionally and physically. Miles Turner had a meltdown last night, bro. You know why Miles Turner had a meltdown? Miles Turner had a meltdown because he had to fight and scrap and claw for every inch of whatever it was he was getting, and most NBA players are not built for that. Most NBA players are not built to grind for 48 minutes. And Tom Thibodeau makes you grind for every inch for all 48 minutes. Right? He makes you grind for every inch that you gain on the floor for all 48 minutes. And when you do that, it just wears you down physically and emotionally. Right? Like the thing with Zeke Jackson yesterday. Zeke Jackson is a run, jump athlete, run, rebound, block shots, hustle points, and all that stuff. But when you got to fight against bigs and smalls all game, you don't get a break. It wears you down. That's why these dudes were having meltdowns last night. Not because, these dudes are mean. Like when you think Indiana Pacers, you don't think tough guy. But last night, those dudes were having meltdowns last night. Yeah, man.
Like the double technicals.
Yeah.
Or when Dante was walking away from TJ McCullough, he trying to talk, and TJ's like, he's like telling TJ, yo, get out my face, Dante. Come on. You ain't that guy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Imagine a finesse team playing against a physical team, and everything the finesse team gets, they have to work their behinds off just to get it. Everything they get, man. Layups, 3-pointers, they have to fight around dudes bumping into them all crazy from out of nowhere, and all types of stuff. When you're a finesse team, bro, and you have to fight for every inch on the floor, it gets into your head a little bit. I mean, and they won't wave the white flag and quit on purpose, but they'll quit because they're used to not being bumped around, not being pushed around, and all of that stuff. So they feel like it gets into their head a little bit. Salute to Still Knicks fans. Still Knicks fans is in Bills. He says, "What's good? Good morning. Salute. Great win last night. It looks even better this morning." Yeah, man.
Salute for having you on playback last night.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hanging out with us on playback. That's our little space right there. That's like our little cubby, right? That's like our little cubby. We get in that little cubby, man. Ain't hardly really nobody back there except us. So we like in that little space, man, just talking about the game, and we're talking about the game like in a like breaking it down live. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple of people that feel like they want to call the game. Like why? Like we got a few people that want to call the game. Yo, the announcers calling the game, and they want to call the game too. Well, I ain't calling no names, but
Yeah. Who has two thumbs? This guy. Yeah, I
yeah,
can't help it because it's like I'll be watching the game and when he split, like perfect example when he split the pick when they had the screen and Brunson threw the ball in front of him and went right between both defenders. I lost it. I was like, oh my god! It's
yeah,
like
man.
watching the sun come down and say hi to you. You're like, oh my god, I knew you could do it. Do it again, do it again, do it again, and it just never happened. But like that
Yeah,
moment, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I can't help it, man. Brunson, he just gets. I'm a big Wolverine fan. Like
yeah,
Wolverine and Gambit were my dudes, man. And I
yeah,
think our riverboat gambler is Gambit, which is Dante.
yeah,
Now that I
yeah,
think about it,
yeah. Dante is Gambit. Show up
Gambit, yep.
like
Hey, Mon ami, you be like Gambit, we needed you. Oh, I'm sorry, I was over here playing cards, just chilling.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
then out of nowhere, he got all the information for the rest of the mission, and you were like, "Oh, okay."
yeah. Yeah, hey, salute to the chat. Corey Lee is in the building. Anthony D is in the building. The smoking Nick is in the building. Salute, salute. Um, anybody that I missed? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, Anthony D, I got a surprise for you, bro. People have been asking me, and I feel honored, really. I'm almost ashamed. Right, people have been asking me to do like football stuff, like Jets and Giants, and do some Mets and Yankee stuff. And I told people I wouldn't do it. I didn't want it. I just wanted it to be a straight Knicks channel because I started it off as a Mets and Knicks channel, and then the Knicks crowd showed up and took over. And so we didn't start doing Mets. That's the reason why it's called Lawrence Tears and not Knicks something something, because it was supposed to be a Mets and Knicks channel, but and some other themes too. But I'm gonna start doing some Jets and Giants stuff, some Mets and Yankee stuff, man. Just talk about sports stuff here also. I'm not sure. I thought people like to have all their. Yeah, I thought everybody had to like to have their food separate. You know how Cowboy Bob, you know how like on your plate you don't like to have your food touching?
Yeah, like I don't want my
Yeah,
mac and cheese touching my mashed potatoes and gravies. I don't
yeah,
want that.
yeah. Like you don't want your collard greens, you don't want your collard greens touching your
Yeah.
mac and cheese.
Yeah, and then it like
Yeah,
soaks in the juice from the bottom, start getting into the mac and cheese, and it
yeah,
tastes
you're like,
different. And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
or like
yeah,
you have your oh man, what's that cranberry? Like you have the good old fashioned good cranberry. You got to put that on a separate plate because you don't want
yeah.
that messing up your stuffing either or your cornbread.
Yeah, yeah, and so I'm gonna start. I've been asked, so I'm just gonna eventually I'm just gonna start doing some of that stuff too, here and on playback. I feel honored that people would ask. I mean, repeatedly. So um, I get it like maybe twice a week. I was getting it like maybe once a week, and then I guess it's the analysis part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like people want me to talk about how Evan Neal is not the bust people think he is, right?
Mhm.
And like people want to hear our thoughts on how we can fix the Giants. And
Mhm.
I don't think that, and I'm gonna get back to the Knicks talk. I just want to say this. I don't think the Giants are in as bad a spot as what people think. I think the Giants are two correctable problems away from being where the Dallas Cowboys are. Just two correctable problems. And for Giants fans, if you heard that and you think I'm crazy, just when I break it down for you, I think all of y'all are gonna agree. Even though I'm a Bears fan, right? I'm a Bears fan, but I root for my homies and their team. Like Corey Lee is a Giants fan. I don't root for the Giants, but I root for Corey Lee, right? I'm not a Jets fan, but I root for Anthony D. So we're gonna start at some point talking about that stuff too. Not flooded. We'll take baby steps into it and all that stuff. But here's the thing, chat. Jay Giant. Here's the thing. Jay Giant. This question is for you. Jay Giant, you still in the chat? Is Jay Giant? Hey, y'all, Jay Giant still in the chat? I don't see him. Hey, Bryce, what's good? Is Jay Giant still in the chat? I don't see. Hey, Cowboy Bob, is Jay Giant still in the chat?
The last response I seen him say was, "I would definitely tune into your Giants stuff and a Giants fan as well." That's the last comment he had.
Hey, Jay Giant, here's my question for you. How does it feel as a Knicks fan to be one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals? How does it feel as a Knicks fan to be one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals? However the Eastern Conference Finals ends up, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? But how does it feel to be one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals, knowing your journey? Cowboy Bob, our journey was not a good one, bro. You remember Emmanuel Mudiay? Emmanuel Mudiay, Kadeem Allen. Anybody remember Kadeem Allen?
Trying to forget.
Yo, that was only 4 years ago, y'all. That was only 4 years ago. Kadeem Allen. Theo Pinson. Y'all remember Theo Pinson?
Why are you bringing up this heartache after a victory, Unc?
No. It's two separate things. It's a separate question. It's a separate question. If this doesn't feel, I'm sorry, let me restate it. If this doesn't fill that Knicks void for you,
okay,
remember where we came from. Okay. And now look at where we are. So if you have that blank space, as a Knicks fan, like you're excited, but you're waiting for something bigger, I'm saying just remember where we came from and enjoy this magic carpet ride, right? Because there was a time where we started Emmanuel Mudiay and Mario Hezonja in the backcourt together. There was a time when we started Noah Vonleh and Enes Freedom together.
Thought I'd never hear that again, Mr. Cantor.
Yeah, and now 4 or 5 years later, depending on which player, for Elfrid Payton, I guess it would be 3 years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 years later, we're 3 years removed from Elfrid Payton. We're Ron, we're 3 years removed, 3 seasons removed from me saying every time Elfrid Payton shoots a jump shot, a broken backboard gets its wings. We're 3 years from that.
That's perfect timing.
Right. So if being one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals hasn't filled that void for you, what I'm gonna say is when Elfrid Payton was here, every time he shot a jump shot, a broken backboard got its wings. Bro, Elfrid Payton Elfrid Payton today is coming off the bench for a G League team. 3 years ago, he was our starting point guard. If that doesn't fill that void, this morning, right, then I think you should revisit or think back to where we came from, right? One of the old R&B singers said, thinking back over the years, I should have shedded some tears. Time and time again, I proved that I'm a two-time loser. Feels like I got to let it go. Looks like another love TKO. Right? That's where we are right now. Looking back then, compared to where we are now, let me tell you how I feel about this moment. Night and day. Night and day. It's night and day. Still, Knicks fans, I can tell you how I feel about this moment night and day, right? Legit, no lie. No lie. And I know a lot of people won't get where I'm saying. It sounds like I'm being soft. I'm actually going somewhere with that.
I hear you. Go ahead, Rock. I'm liking where you going, man. You cooking today. I ain't gonna throw no salt and no seasoning. Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Because you reminded me of why it feels good to be where we're at today. And this is one of the things we haven't had as a Knicks fan in a while. Every time we got a little bit of fun, it'll just be, we accept what's gonna happen. Like we accept our fate. No. Remind us. Give us those gut checks.
Yeah. Being one game away from the Eastern Conference Finals feels so real that you just can't let go. Right? It feels so real that you just can't let go, bro. This moment, bro, 3 years ago, our point guard rotation, 3 years ago, our point guard rotation was Elfrid Payton, Alec Burks, and Derrick Rose.
Oh God, why you gotta remind me of that? Mr. Derrick Rose.
And I like Derrick Rose, right?
Me too. Me too. Mr. Payton.
Yeah.
Where have you been, Mr. Payton?
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? With all these names that you're naming, it literally shows that even earlier in the stages of this 4 or 5 year period of us changing, we were making some bad mistakes. But we turned it around within a year.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you that it was a work in progress and believe in this team. Because oh man, when you bring up those names, I'm like, what were we thinking? Who's this guy? I don't even remember him.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is and this is the reason why I say a lot of times when we rock the mic, I think we have a responsibility to not shoot people to gas for 4 hours. Like when we turn these mics on, we legit have a responsibility to the responsibility is bigger than ourselves. Like shooting people to gas is one thing. I'm not all for that. Right. I don't want to shoot people to gas for 4 hours. Right. What I will say though is as a Knicks fan and as a human being, I just want the truth on some stuff. And the truth is this franchise was trash. And now we not. 2 years ago, this team was trash. Now we're one game away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Facts. I was gonna say that too. Like, and here's another thing. Like, we actually did it with OG not being there. Like, we actually won a playoff game without OG. and Randall still showing support on the bench.
Yo, Randall jacket last night.
I could and
Fire.
the hat. I'm just looking like, dog. Can I get one? Like,
Oh, the captain hat.
yeah. I was looking. I'm like, dog. This ain't right, man. You can't be looking that good, and then you got Clyde out there with the bag, and then Clyde with his jacket. I'm like, we can't do this, man.
Yo,
But yeah, the fact that like we won without, and that's what I'm talking about also with how we were, because earlier when it was just Randall, we saw we won one game with the Atlanta series, and then now even though he's out, he's still contributing by getting in people's ears, explaining to them what they need to do. We are 3-0 since he actually's been on the court. Every time he's been on the court, we've won.
right. And truth be told, and I've been saying it too. Another thing, I'm not saying that I'm always right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And chat, I'm not saying that I'm always right, but what I will say is I'm always earnest. Right. I'm always earnest. Right. And not Ernest goes to camp, y'all. I can hear
Okay.
people like, oh, he said he was Ernest goes to camp.
Yeah, because I was gonna
Ernest
start laughing like,
no,
what?
not that Ernest. Not that Ernest. Yeah, I'm saying, y'all know what earnest means. Honest as best you can.
Yeah.
Honest and contrite best you can. Right?
Like not just saying.
Said, but earnest is the best word to use.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to spit out a mouthful. I don't want to sound like a Harvard professor. I just want to be contrite with it. Right? Right? I just want to be. I'm always earnest with it. Right? when people were saying like Cowboy Bob, hold it together, bro. Cowboy Bob is breaking and falling to pieces over Ernest.
I can't help it because it's not just
hold it together, chat, hold it together. Y'all know I'm not saying Ernest.
I keep thinking of Ernest goes here now. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead.
Yo, hold it together, y'all. Y'all know what I mean. But my thing is this. My thing is when I was pointing out that this team could win 60 games and I wasn't afraid of the Milwaukee Bucks. As a matter of fact, I use an example because I use the Queen Bee, BK Steph. That's my girl and I love her. Y'all know I love BK Steph, right? That's my friend, right? Mm-hmm. That's my girl. You ain't gonna never hear me say nothing bad about my girl Steph, right? That's my girl, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody disagree like we disagree. Like we will disagree on everything, and it don't mean nothing because it's just a conversation. That's right. Like we'll disagree. Sister. We'll be heated, bro. You know what I'm saying? We'll be heated about disagreeing. But that's my people, right?
Your work sister.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when I said I'm not afraid of the Bucks, they talked me down, bro. They talked me down, bro. Like
I felt sorry for you. I was watching that.
Man, you ain't afraid. They got Giannis. We don't have a Giannis.
They got Dame. I was like,
yeah. And you know what? And you know what, y'all? Somebody is gonna tell Uncle Freezy he right at some point. Right? At some point, somebody gonna be like, hey, big dog, you was right.
And you made the face too on this. You was like, I don't care.
Yo, talk me down. Man, the Bucks have such and such. The Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, now after the fact, and I'm not talking noise. What I'm saying is, you know, I'm legit speaking that I believed in these Knicks for like 2 years. I didn't just show up here, right? When people were afraid of the Bucks, I was telling them I want to play the Bucks. The Bucks ain't nobody.
Yep.
The Bucks ain't nobody. IKBM Dre. I was like, Dre, bro, bring on the Bucks. I want them right now.
Remember when we were doing the playoffs?
Let me finish. Hold on. I just want to finish this little tidbit, just real quick. Just real quick. Just real quick, right? The Bucks in this 2-year span that we're in, the Knicks are a second round team in this 2-year span, right? Guess what the Bucks are in this 2-year span? First round exit. 2 years in a row, back to back. And so when I'm pointing out the thing about the Celtics, bro, hey, Cowboy Bob, I don't think the Celtics can beat us, bro. If OG Anunoby comes back, and I'm going to say this, if OG Anunoby comes back for the Celtics series, I think the Celtics have to beat us in 6 or 7 games. Absolutely have to beat us in 6 or 7 games with their best effort, with everyone healthy, right? I don't think they can beat us with Kristaps Porzingis out. If Porzingis is out and we play them even without OG Anunoby, we win. Right? I think we beat the Celtics without OG Anunoby if Porzingis is out. Right? And it's not because I'm doing Knicks Homer stuff. It's because I feel as if technically we can do stuff to Boston that other teams can't do to Boston. What we can do to Boston is simple, right? Boston is a big team. Their point guard's bigger than our point guard. Their shooting guard is bigger than our shooting guard. Their small forward is bigger than our small forward. Their power forward is bigger than our power forward, right? And then off the bench, they're going to play Luke Cornett, who's a stretch 5, just like Miles Turner. And then they have the other guy that looks like Gordon Hayward. I keep forgetting his name. I don't want to be disrespectful, right? And then they have Peyton Pritchard. And then so I asked myself, is Peyton Pritchard better than Deuce McBride or Alec Burks? No. Is Luke Cornett better than Precious Achua? Yeah, Sam Hauser. That's his name. Thank you. Thank you, Kerry Cox. Sam Hauser, right? Is Sam Hauser better, is going to provide more than what Alec Burks is going to provide us? I don't think so. But is their starting 4, or their Brunson is going to cook against their guards. I know their guards are good, but Brunson's going to cook them. I think Brunson's going to go off for about 30 points a game against their guards. And not because Brunson is Jordan-esque. I'm not saying that. But I think the way that he scores, the way that Brunson scores is not the way that the typical NBA guard scores. Jalen Brunson is not 6'3", very skinny, fast, and athletic. Like Jalen Brunson is not De'Aaron Fox. So when you put Drew Holiday on De'Aaron Fox, Drew Holiday can kind of muscle that man around and use similar quickness in order to defend him. Jalen Brunson is crafty. Jalen Brunson is going to use your best defensive assets against you, right? Jalen Brunson, to me, is like watching a point guard version of Tim Duncan. That's what Jalen Brunson is like to me. I'm talking about offensively, not defensively, not defensively and rebounding, right? I think Jalen Brunson is the Tim Duncan of the point guard position offensively. He's not Tyrese Halliburton. He's not 6'5". He's not going to pass with either hand. He's not going to do a lot of stuff. So what I'm saying is can Jalen Brunson score against Boston's defense? Absolutely. Right. Right. And I know I'm looking ahead a little bit, but in terms of where the conversation was going.
Mm-hmm.
Can Dante DiVincenzo get us about 14 points a game against Boston? Can Josh Hart get us about 12 points a game against Boston? Can Deuce McBride get us about 10 points a game against Boston? Can Hartenstein get us 10-10 against whoever Boston's backup center is? Al Horford. Can Hartenstein get us 10 points and 10 rebounds against Al Horford?
Mm,
Can Burks get us somewhere between 6 and 10 points off the bench? Can Precious Achua get us 6 points and 6 rebounds? And I know that's modest. I know that's modest, right? Right? That's modest. But in a game against the Knicks and the Celtics, I don't foresee Boston scoring 130 points a game against us. In a series against Boston, honestly, I think most of the games are going to be basically the first team to 100 wins. Now, will there be games where Boston comes out and just blows the doors off us? Absolutely. Boston's a great team. But will there be games where we frustrate Boston like we frustrated Indiana? Absolutely. Here's the thing. Here's my thing also. Madison Square Garden react, right? How will Madison Square Garden react when their all-time rival is in the building trying to stop them from winning a championship? Hey, Kerry Cox, I gotta ask you a question, Cox. How will Madison Square Garden's energy be when the all-time rival of the Knicks is trying to prevent them from winning a championship? What's the Garden going to be like?
they might not make it out alive.
Yeah,
Like Grandma said, you walking over, but you're limping back.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Cowboy Bob, how you feel about that, man? What do you think Madison Square Garden is going to feel like when the Boston Celtics are trying to prevent the Knicks from winning a championship?
You're playing against us, and I feel sorry for you guys. Like you guys coming in, you guys are not get. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be, yo. It's gonna be to the point where the stadiums, parking lots, to the 5 streets down is gonna be waiting for you. Like you're gonna have. Yeah.
Yeah.
MSG is gonna have Madison Square Garden. They're gonna have to close off Madison Square Garden and the entire Manhattan because everybody's outside waiting for you guys. So the intensity is gonna be at its max with the six man. You
Yeah.
guys ain't getting away with them easy wins. That's why I laughed when you said it. When you said 6 or 7 games, you're right. We could win 2 games at home because of that, and then we could probably win one in Boston because they're not shooting that well. And if we get 3 wins, you messing with the wrong bear.
All I'm gonna say is, man, to that is all I'm gonna say to that is this, man. If they let us get one in Boston, if they let us get one in Boston, bro.
I don't know how to see. I'm scared because if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm gonna be happy. Like I'm like, yeah, yeah. But if we get one in Boston, like you said, and we got the 2 at home, I
Right.
I don't think I'm gonna be tolerable for like the next 2 months. I'm gonna be running around like drop kicking people, like Nick, like. I'm sorry, not like in that type of frame. I'm just gonna be so excited that I don't know how to hold myself, and I think that's a good thing. That's why I said
Yeah.
I don't think that is gonna be easy for Boston at all. I even think
Yeah.
that at their arena we're gonna be trying to go over there.
Right. 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 No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Man, Justo says, I think Justo11 says, I think we punched them in the mouth game one. I think so. I think so also. I think we can jump out on Boston and make them feel us, right? because we're not a fake physical team like Cleveland. Cleveland is a fake physical team. Like they only play physical, but they don't want to be physical. But I think Josh Hart and Dante embrace it.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Brunson. Did you see the two offensive fouls he got yesterday, where he
Yeah.
threw his body into the defender?
Mm-hmm.
I think those were like the like, I ain't gonna say cheap shot, but I think those are the blows that you gotta give a finesse team to let you know that you here.
He learned that from Embiid, bro. When
Yeah.
Embiid pushed him at the foul line, he's like, "Oh, so that's why you use that technique." And he did it twice last night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's an intimidation factor. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get these two fouls, but at the same time, I'm here.
And Kerry Cox says something. He says still want the Cavs to take it to 7 games with the Celtics. Yeah.
I want
So that
that.
OG can get healthy.
Yep, that's what I want to.
Yeah. So everybody can get healthy.
And then we take them extra 2-3 days of rest because look at how they played. Now we're gonna have 2 days of rest because we don't play till Friday, today and tomorrow. Oh man, they're gonna be ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, I don't know, man. We are literally one step away from actually solidifying. You could actually say we're a Knicks organization that can't be laughed at.
Bro, I'm gonna pop champagne.
I'm telling you, man. Like, ooh,
Yeah, I
it,
remember Ron Browse pop champagne, Busta Rhymes pop champagne.
mhm.
Hey, Kerry Cox, no lie, man. No lie. All the stuff that I had been saying, and I'm not saying that I'm right all the time. Right? What I'm saying is I just believe in a certain thing, bro. I just believe I just believe in a certain thing, man. Like no lie. I just feel like for about for about 2 years now, I felt like if things broke our way instead of breaking away from us, then we could have done some things. And I think Leon Rose has done a great job of removing things that broke that had things breaking away from us. Right? I mean, great job by Leon Rose to remove like the obstacles and stuff that had us like, you know, things breaking away from us. So now all we have to do is go out and play basketball.
Yeah. And the best part is we're not hinged or locked into a contract with half of these guys to where it hurts us.
Yeah.
Like we could free. We're not anchored to anybody except for Randall and Brunson. Because even if you look at Dante's contract or Josh Hart's contract or even McBride's contract, like we could even get Burks on a minimum.
Yeah.
So we're getting productivity with good salary cap. It's both sides of it, and this is a first.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, man. That's all I got, bro. I got to get back to this class and stuff. You got something else before we get out of here?
Real quick, I just want to say thank you for everybody on playback. You know, we saw a lot and we get to break down even better. Everybody that's on X, thank you for contributing. If you got anything, you want to contribute to the show, like Uncle Freezy says, put the little Freezy emoji up there and he'll get to it. Or you can hit us with a super chat. But thank you for your contributions. Subscribe, become a member. And remember, go New York, go New York, go. And
Yeah.
Dante is our inferno.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And so we'll have the Big Boss Man's roundtable later on today. We'll have Nick's freestyle later on today. And hopefully we can get the Knicks at Night podcast in
Mhm.
tonight as well. And so we'll do a short one today, a short one right now because we'll be back later on to do the three other shows. At least that's the intention, is to get back to do the three other shows, man. But we'll holler at y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, rocking with us. Peace, everybody.
Have a good morning.